Often, killers come from troubled backgrounds and suffer from serious, untreated mental health issues. In the case of Elliot Turner, his apparent sociopathy and superiority complex were rooted in a privileged upbringing where he never lacked material things, but clearly lacked values and boundaries. Turner was part of a group of rich, spoiled young people in Bournemouth who bragged about their carefree lifestyle of parties, alcohol, and drugs. Used to getting his way, Elliot developed a narcissistic personality and an us-against-the-world attitude. He carried a hammer to seem tough, but in reality, he was a spoiled kid with delusions and grandeur. When he met the sweet Emily Longley, Turner saw her as a trophy girlfriend who would boost his ego and make his friends see him as a successful ladies' man. However, the extreme jealousy and controlling behavior he started to show revealed the monster hiding beneath the surface. When Emily had the courage to try to leave him, Elliot couldn't handle the rejection, unleashing an uncontrollable, murderous rage. Emily Longley was just 17 years old, with many dreams ahead of her, until her own boyfriend tragically decided that she should not continue. It was May 7, 2011, an ordinary day for this girl in Bournemouth, England. Emily had recently returned to the UK from New Zealand to study at Brockenhurst College, dreaming of earning a business degree and becoming a model. She was living at her grandparents' house, unaware of the terrible fate that awaited her. Emily's captivating beauty soon caught the attention of Elliot Turner, a 20-year-old who was part of a group of rich and spoiled friends in Bournemouth. As the son of a wealthy jeweler, Elliot had a seamlessly carefree life. He was well known in the local bar and club scene and was part of a gang of rich young people called The Firm. Everyone talked about Turner because of his constant bragging. Turner loved being the center of attention. He didn't need to work. His parents gave him everything he needed. Elliot skillfully manipulated people, including his parents. His life was all about parties, women, alcohol, and illegal drugs. He thought he could do whatever he wanted. His friends believed Turner saw himself as a gangster and wanted to be the person everyone turned to for help buying drinks. Elliot bragged about driving a new Mini Cooper, but it was a gift from his grandmother. He tried to keep up with his bad boy image on social media, where he often called himself Scarface or God. He didn't lack attention from women, but when he met Emily, he became very attracted to her. She admired his image as a successful person, which Turner worked hard to create. They officially started dating in April 2011. As the relationship went on, Turner began to show more and more controlling behavior, even threatening Emily's life. In an emotional plea to Turner, Emily wrote him a note a few months before her death, saying, 1. I love you. 2. Don't say you'll kill me. 3. Stop talking about your ex-girlfriends. 4. Stop being so constantly aggressive. Be cooler because that's much sexier, and you scare me because you're so intimidating. When Turner started to show his true colors and his controlling behavior went too far, Emily realized he wasn't the person she wanted to be with. In one of her last text messages to her mother, Emily expressed her concerns about the situation and her intention to end the relationship. Unfortunately, the decision would cost her her life. On the night of May 6, 2011, Emily was out with her friends at a nightclub. Surveillance cameras captured her arriving with her friends. However, everything changed when Turner found out that Emily had been with another man that night. Consumed by jealousy, Turner showed up at the club and violently confronted her. After a heated argument where Emily threw her drink in his face, she decided to leave with her friends. However, Turner wasn't going to take no for an answer. He followed her, threatening violence and telling his friends, "I'll kill her. I'll go to prison for it and still be a millionaire. I'd do 10 years. It wouldn't bother me." Turner caught up with Emily and somehow convinced her to go to his house, saying he wanted to talk in a more relaxed setting. Elliot lived with his parents, and maybe that's why she went with him, thinking he would behave more calmly in their presence. Neighbors saw them enter the family home on Queenswood Avenue together. That was the last time she was ever seen alive. The next morning, Elliot Turner's mom, Anita, called emergency services to report that Emily wasn't waking up. When paramedics arrived, it was too late. All they could do was confirm Emily Longley was dead. Thousands of miles away in New Zealand, Emily's dad, Mark, woke up to missed calls from his ex-wife, Caroline, and younger daughter, Hannah. He heard Caroline yell, "Emily's dead." Mark couldn't believe it. After all, Emily had been smiling just a week ago. The police gathered some evidence, but it wasn't clear what had happened to Emily. They had to wait for the autopsy results. However, they began to suspect it wasn't an accident. Elliot Turner's parents, Anita and Lee, told investigators they had been home all night and hadn't heard anything. The suspect, Elliot, publicly mourned Emily by posting pictures of them together on his Facebook page. While waiting for the autopsy results, investigators found out that a few days before her death, Emily had posted something strange on her Facebook. "I have a stalker." Also, witnesses saw the heated argument between Emily and Turner the night before at the club. Several of Turner's friends admitted he tried to control her every move and was really angry. When the autopsy results finally came, they weren't surprising. Emily had been strangled, and forensic experts said the physical evidence matched someone applying pressure to her neck. Investigators suspected the Turner family could be involved in Emily's death, so they decided to bug their house. The recordings caught disturbing conversations where Elliot Turner confessed to killing Emily, and his parents discussed how to cover it up. Elliot told his mom what to tell the police, while his dad, Lee, seemed to know it was wrong, but eventually went along with his son and wife. The recordings also showed dark details of what happened to Emily Longley. Elliot Turner admitted he felt angry every day and that Emily had angered him like no one else. He described how he grabbed her by the neck and pushed her onto the bed for a few seconds, saying he didn't mean to kill her, but his anger had blinded him, and she ended up with a tragic fate. That was it. Elliot Turner was arrested a week after Emily's death. During the trial that started in May 2012, his defense tried to argue he acted in self-defense after Emily supposedly attacked him, but police recordings contradicted his story. The investigation continued. Police looked through Turner's computers and found searches like death by strangulation and how to avoid punishment for a crime. It was hard to believe it was an accident, let alone self-defense. But Elliot boasted the jury would believe him. In letters from jail to his friends, he bragged he'd soon be driving a new Range Rover and moving to Spain, planning to sell the rights to his story and live a fancy life. However, the jury quickly shattered his dreams. They found him guilty on May 22, 2012. The court sentenced Elliot Turner to life in prison with a minimum of 16 years. After the verdict, the judge described Turner as astonishingly arrogant and said Emily was a lovely, kind, fun-loving girl who brought sunshine to those she touched. The light had been suddenly and unnecessarily extinguished by you. The jury also gave Turner an extra 9 months for messing with the justice process. But Elliot Turner wasn't the only one in trouble at this trial. His parents, Anita and Lee, who Turner used to get money for his fancy parties, loved their son so much they tried to hide his crime. Lee destroyed Turner's confession letter, and Anita took the jacket from the bedroom where the letter was supposed to be. His mom even waited to call an ambulance so her son could cover up his tracks and let the family make up a good story for the police. Both Anita Turner, 51, and Lee Turner, 54, got caught messing with justice and got 27 months in prison. Elliot was sent to the high-security prison HMS Swells in Kent. And here's where it gets really disturbing. Even after being locked up in 2013, Elliot's behavior kept causing problems. He bragged about getting letters from old admirers. His cell walls were covered with photos and letters from women who thought he was innocent. But the creepiest part? He had pictures of Emily everywhere, saying he loved her and claiming he was innocent. Not only did he show zero remorse, but he also stirred up a lot of trouble in prison. With his big ego and always saying he was innocent, he eventually got other inmates to attack him. Some guys beat him up after he talked about going back to a life of champagne, Bentleys, and women. so they moved him to a different part of the prison. Elliot even tried to appeal his murder conviction. Luckily, they said no. We don't know where he is in the prison system, and he won't be up for parole until at least 2028. Meanwhile, Emily's family is still torn up about losing her. Her dad, Mark, hasn't forgiven or forgotten what that heartless Elliot Turner did to Emily and their family. It's a sad reminder that lots of victims don't manage to get away from bad relationships in time. So, what do you think about this sad story? Do you think it could have been stopped if Emily had more support and knew more about abusive relationships? Or do you think Elliot was just a bad person who couldn't change? Let us know in the comments. And to stay updated on similar stories that sadly happen too often, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way we can keep talking about it and raise more awareness about a problem that keeps hurting innocent people. See you next time.